Hari Om and Jai Gurudev. Om Sahana Bhavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankaravavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Chaiva Tato Jayamudiraye. Jai Gurudev. One of my takeaways is like we don't chant just like chanting. Chanting, of course, has its value, but understanding the meaning and chanting actually brings in a beautiful opening up of I mean, when you chant with the meaning, that opens up a different dimension. So that goes with saying with our Bhagavad Gita chanting. You know, it's not like you just want to tick it off. Chapter 6, chapter 7.
Yeah, same with me.
You'll have, it's nice. That's what he's been saying. Nana's been saying. It's not just about chanting, but chanting with the meaning. Yeah. Yeah, all of you can share your inputs here. So again, bottom line is, although seemingly some of these arguments, counter arguments might seem a little going above our head, I'm talking for myself, it is important that we get it clear, understand it. Because our own mind,
if we, yeah, go ahead. Yeah.
That is what Nana said. It is not like the Purva Pakshi, there was a physical person, Purva Pakshi, sitting there in front of him, and Shankara was arguing about this. He has himself taken up these arguments in his mind, and he has brought out the counter arguments as an Advaita, as a Vedanti. So he has raised the Purva Pakshi's objection himself, and it's as though in his own mind there is this dialogue going on, and he's expressed it. Because in our own mind, in our pursuits of understanding Vedanta, and we might have these questions cropping up, and then going back and keeping Shankara's commentary as the basis will help us give that get back to clarity. I think that is the reason.
Yeah, but then
no, this was clear actually.
It helps, but the problem is it's too complex. Like it's very hard to get all the points at the end of the session. It's trying to figure out what did we do. Then not many things comes up. I mean, at least in my case, that's how I feel. But
we can look at Maharaji like this, that how we were 6 months back, how we were 3 months back, and how we are
no,
now.
I mean, I understand that. I'm not saying not reading about it, but it's just that if we're going to read, we'll stick to what certain area. That's it. Then we can come back and discuss about it a little bit, clearly, so that at least say, okay, we did this today, and we can get some points from this today. So that way we can build on it. Otherwise, it's it for me, I not getting very clear picture about what we are reading sometimes.
No. We had to, Mara, we had to go on reading this. See, this, what the essence is, I got it long time. I think when I was in Bahrain itself. That was 2000. 7 or something like that. And I was practicing it. But there are still doubts, doubts. Actually, we were not translating into that effect. See, I still remember I had told Ramara about it, that when Swaminathan was there, he was asking me, how you do cold water bath? Then I had just replied it, that I know that I am not this body. Whatever the cold things, everything happens to the body, not to me. In that sense, if I take a bath, I am removed of the notion that I'm feeling cold and there's nothing. The body is feeling cold. Okay, that's it. Kalas. If body is sick, I had a heart attack. Then when I was in hospital, I was telling it happened to my body, not to me. This always we have to be going on. And now when I read it completely, now it is now established for me that Jnana Nishta, when you read all this, the Jnana Nishta will automatically come. And with our practice of sadhana and all that, it establishes ourselves. So this is the way we have to take like this.
Yeah, I understand. But
We have to see, though I had understood this, I should not have read this. It is, okay, Kailash, I know it. No. We have to see what was going on me and what is still it is hampering. Why? Means I have not yet become that Nishta still now. That is what. Even for chanting, I was knowing that. When we chant Vishnu Sahasranama, we have to think we are Vishnu. That is not just we are chanting it because for the praise of the Vishnu. No. So that is the way I was doing that. But still, then again, we are in this samsara, we'll just fall into, and again we come back again. This is shanai. So this is a progressive. It is just cannot be immediately, but once you get it, it becomes correctly. And I have been reading so many charitras of so many swamis. They go into the forest. They don't care for the food. They could care for means they are already established that they are not the body. So whatever, if there is, it is not hungry, okay, something will come. So when you are eternal, you only create the situation that you will get the food. It happens. Many times it happens. For me, it has happened. I am feeling it. So we have to be Jnana Nishta, means we should know that we are not the body, we are not the body complex, mind, intellect, this, etc. We are pure Sat Chit Ananda. That is our happiness program still. When we are after Sudarshan Kriya, when you lie down, I'm seeing so many people. And so I'm not seeing that I am this, I am that, my student, my this one, my this. No. At that stage, everyone is same. And you are in that Ananda, that is happiness program. And when they get up, they feel that experience is there. And that has that, okay, on that day, it might happen only 20 minutes. So we had to live with it. Even for small, we have to extend that. That is the way it has to be. I feel that is what. So we had, when we start reading it, it clears so many concepts.
Sureshji, beautiful sharing. Huh? This is the perfect journey of a sadhak.
No, really, this since 2005 or 2006, I am going through this. So slowly, but still I am sometimes, this is not happened, that is not happened. Again, I come back, again, this one, again. So many times, so many. This is just very small. So we have to extend that. But nothing to beat that we have to be always in the silence. That is what the meditation comes. And We have to extend that. We are doing Sudarshan Kriya and only experiencing 10 or 15 minutes. We have to go on extending it, and being in that Jnana Nishtha only. That time you are fully. But being as Arul Prarabdham Karma, we have to go through it. I have to go and attend the marriage. Today I have to go. I have to eat that food. That is my Prarabdha Karma. I will not eat with the eager that, oh, this was good, that was good, and we will be chewing that is good, this is good, this is good. Not, we have to not fall into that. You just enjoy and finish. That is what such. We have to be in that state always. Even though you are in the public, you are alone. That's what happens, Doing karma, you have to see akarma. And when you are in akarma, you have to see karma. So that word, that this one is there, no? That stotra.
Karmaya.
Akaramani, karmana, karmane, karma. That we have to go on realizing this, go on doing. When you start reading it, you will be feeling it. You're feeling it. You have to just go on. That's it. But again, one person will come, sir, I have to give me this, you have to give that, okay. So that time also we have to restrain ourselves, not get angry, not get attached to it. Oh, I'm losing the money, that also should not come to me. Okay, come on, take it. Such things automatically starts happening to you. You need not have to. Many things happens. You desire comes to you, and it has happened to me many times. I was telling that in Bahrain itself like that, but I am feeling it now. So many things have happened for myself.
Yeah, good experience. Thank you.
See, Dr. Mara, what I wanted to share was, there is this Subhashitani which says, Acharya Padam Adatte Padam Swabhram, Padam Swamedhaya Padam Sabbrahmacharibhyo Padam Kalakramenahi. So 1/4 of what we get as knowledge comes from the Acharya, from the teacher who teaches us. In this case, it is both Nana, and through Nana, we have this Swamiji's commentary. And then we have Swamedhaya. 1/4 of the understanding comes from your own self, your own effort of understanding. 1/4 is like this: when we are discussing and doing Manana, some little clarity comes in. Because of Sabbrahmacharibhyo, because of co-sadhakas. And then 1/4 Kalakramenahi comes in due course. It will take its time. It is not like whatever we're reading right now, we need to get it right here and there. Sometimes, yes, for me, even now, although Nana explained this Gauna Pratyaya and this Mithya Pratyaya I seem to have understood. But I'm not still able to get why this Gauna Pratyaya is brought into the picture in the first place.
No,
now,
Gauna Pratyaya, see, Brahmaraji.
No, wait. Let her finish, and then you can tell.
Yeah.
1 second.
So what I'm trying to say is, for me, in my present state of understanding, till now I was very happy with just the Mithya Pratyaya. I understood rope and the snake, all that was fine. Now the Purva Pakshi seems to have brought in another concept, another perspective, this Gauna Pratyaya. That for my mind at this point of time, I find it a little difficult to grasp, to understand. Why did they bring in this concept? Why did they bring in this perspective? And I'm trying to fit it into the knowledge base that I already have. So I'm finding it a little, it's still not for
I
fine.
also felt the difficulty. That's what I'm trying to tell.
Yeah.
It's not like we are not wanting to read or anything like that,
Correct.
but it's just that part of it is when we either we have to a little bit slow down, understand that part, or when we come back, okay, this word you didn't understand, we should go back and look at it.
Yeah. I think
Can I chip in? Can I chip in now?
one second. This is what I meant to tell you guys. It's not like, we all go through this years and years of preparation, or, we all have different kinds of experiences. I do understand that, but I just wanted to tell you, like, my mind gets so saturated the way I listen to some of these things. Then at the end, I couldn't even participate. That's probably why what I was trying to say. It's like,
It's okay. I don't think you should feel disheartened, Dr. Mara.
that is what I was wanted to tell you. Like, okay, can we either little slow down, or should we kind of, I'm not trying to limit anybody, but I just wanted to see, okay, we can
And we can
talk
ask
about
Nana
it.
to explain one
Yeah,
more time. Absolutely not, nothing. Because that is what
yeah,
he's been saying. He says you need to get clarity at every step. Not everybody would
yeah.
understand everything with the same degree of clarity. That requires, I mean, unless we're all in that
Yeah,
sattva.
because
Therefore, we are doing Manana, no,
we
madam?
Exactly.
don't want to
Manana,
stretch our.
because of that only we are doing Manana. Manana is, can I chip in now? Because just
Yeah,
I want
go
to
ahead.
clarify that Mithya we understood. I feel everyone understood Mithya. What is Mithya? I am falsely relating myself as body, but I am truly Atma. The Veda says, I am Atma, but due to my innocence or due to my ajnana, I am myself identifying with me as a body. That is Mithya. Means samsara is running because of me, like that, ahankara, everything. But gauna means I am, that is reverse of Mithya. Okay. That is, though I am a Devadatta, okay, but I am called as lion because I am not lion. I am a Devadatta only. Okay, means I am body, and means we are understanding my body, and we are thinking that the Atma is Gauna, means we are only a part of it. That's what. That's the reverse of Gauna. Mithya. Means though we are infinite, we are identifying ourselves as a finite. That is Mithya. And we are telling, oh, Atma is there. So we are, because I am kind, I am this one, I am attributing myself as I am a Satchitananda. That is Gauna. You got it now?
I think it's more confusing.
The reverse. You have to just say reverse. See, Devadatta is not a lion.
Yeah. Like he mentioned,
He
like
has
the
got
lion.
some. He has got some quality of lion because he
Yeah.
is very strong and very brave and all that. Therefore, we call him as a lion. But does he a true lion? No.
But that's a mithya
No, that is Gauna. Okay, that is Gauna. Means we are identifying ourselves as a self. Means body, mind, that, this, etc. And sometimes when you do kind gestures, we call ourselves as a Deva. That is Gauna. Actually, we are Devas only. Actually, in fact, we are Devas.
Okay.
But it is covered by the innocence. And that has to be uncovered. That is Mithya. Therefore, the body, this samsara itself is Mithya. Means it is not there. But I am pure Sat-Chit Ananda. That is true. But we are not understanding the true self. That is Mithya Pratyaya. But we are thinking that we are body, mind, small. And sometimes what we do, good things and all that, that time we say we are devas. We are like Deva. That is Gauna. You understood, I think, now. My English may not be so
No, it's fine. It's just that, yeah, it's good. Thank you.
See, we know the Devas, Daivik, in chapter, the qualities of Deva, okay? And qualities of a Stitat Prajna. Everything, we know it. Now we are our body is, we know I am Suresh and all that. I am this body, I am this, and I am superimposing the Stitat Prajna on me. That is Gauna. But actually we are Stitat Prajna. We have to eliminate this. That is Mithya.
You're not identified with your body. Okay.
You might have got it now. See, what we are doing until now is, what is this? Say, I am Brahmana, I am Suresh, I am Mara, all like
You're
that.
identifying with your body, becomes
and we are now we are superimposing the Stitat Prajna qualities on us by reading. Actually, that is Gauna.
What Nana had mentioned was, see, what the Purva Pakshi mentions is that Atma is a Karta, is a Gauna Pratyaya and not a Mithya Pratyaya. And what Shankara says, that Atma is a Karta, is not a Gauna Pratyaya.
Yeah.
It is a Mithya Pratyaya. That is the whole argument over here.
Yes.
So,
no, but I have told in another perspective, as an example.
I just get back to how Nana had explained when I had asked him in the morning. Atma is, this is where we stopped, no? So I'm just going back to this. If you all are okay with, oh, it's already 7:06. Maybe 5 minutes I will spend. I thought we'll read this one para about this Gauna Pratyaya and Mithya Pratyaya. Is everyone okay with it?
Yes.
So I will just go with the Purva Pakshi stand. We first need to understand what the Purva Pakshi is saying. I think it is over here. Yeah. So this one we knew that any action is done only through ignorance, right? Is only because of ignorance. Now the expression I do is only Gauna, a figurative expression, the Purva Pakshi's objection. When Shankara says this, the Purva Pakshi argues back by saying that when anyone says I do, it is only a figure of speech. It is like saying I did 60 miles an hour. I know I did not do 60 miles an hour. My car did it. Similarly, when I say I do, it is only figurative. I know I am distinct from the body and that it is the body that acts. But still, I say I do. The I cognition in the body, mind, sense complex is only figurative, gauna. It is not false, mithya. When somebody says, I am fat, etc., he knows very well that he is not this body. But at the same time, he uses these expressions, not in their primary sense, but only in a secondary sense. It is not an erroneous notion, mithya pratyaya, like mistaking a rope as a snake. When I say I do, aham karomi, it can be an error. The body can be taken as Atma and Atma can be taken as the body. That is an erroneous notion. But here, it is not error, it is only figurative. This is the argument of the Purva Pakshi. So this is where I was getting a little stuck.
As you know, we are kind, we need kindness. Okay? We have to be kind. Means we are thinking that I am a body and all that, I become a kind. That is what this argument, Gauna. Actually, in fact, we are kind itself originally. That is mithya.
Yeah, maybe I just read on. Shankara rejects this. If that were true, anything born of the body would also be figurative. He's going to explain this later. The Purva Pakshi elaborates his stand. Now the objector explains his position further. The eye sense in the body, etc., which belongs to the self, is figurative, gauna, just like in one's own sun, which is expressed in the Veda as, you are the self that is called the sun. Let us understand this word gauna properly, because translating it as a figure of speech or secondary sense is problematic. The word gauna means that certain attributes are pointed out. When the father says to the son, you are nothing but myself, this is definitely a gauna expression. The idea is, when you are happy, I am happy. And when you are unhappy, I become unhappy. The difference between the father and son is evident, but at the same time, there is an expression that indicates that one is the other. That is called a gauna expression. Because the son is born of him, the son is born in his own image, and more than that, the father has such a strong identification with his son that he can say that his son is himself. This is an example of a Vedic expression. In common parlance too, we hear things like, this cow is my life. Definitely, the one who says this knows that the cow is different from himself and he is different from the cow. But still, because his livelihood is dependent on the cow, he says that the cow is his life. This is another gauna expression. So too, it is argued here is the expression, I do. It is not a false notion, an error, because the one who says this knows that Atma is other than the body. And he also knows that the body is other than the Atma. In a false notion, mithya pratyaya, the attributes of two things are not properly understood, as when the stump of a tree is taken for a person. If the person is understood and the stump is understood, one is not going to be mistaken for the other. Only if what is there is not known and something else is superimposed upon it, it is an error. When it is superimposed, aropa alone is seen and not the basis, adhishtana, of the superimposition. That is error. But when I say, I perform this ritual, I know the body and Atma are distinct, and therefore it is not error, mithya pratyaya, but gauna. So says the Purva Pakshi. So I'm
All
not
this
sure.
is by the Purva Pakshi, it's not by the by the
All this is
Shankara.
by Purva Pakshi.
Yeah.
His
So he is only saying all these things. So let's see what Shankara says about
The
it.
eye cognition in the body is not figurative but erroneous. Vedanti's answer. Shankara replies that this is not true, for there is something more to understand about a Gauna expression. What is accomplished by the primary thing is not accomplished by what it is figuratively said to be. For instance, even though the father says that the son is himself, when the son eats, it is not equal to his eating. I will just pause here. So when we take it in the sense of Atma, Atma is doing, Atma is different from the body. That is, the father and son are different. But the father says he is the son. Because if the son is happy, he is happy. If the son is unhappy, he is unhappy.
Yeah.
Here,
Can you go back to the 2 line above that one? Okay. Yeah, it's not true.
Yeah.
Okay.
Shankara replies that this is not true, for there is something more to understand about a Gauna expression. What is accomplished by the primary thing is not accomplished by what it is figuratively said to be. So here the primary thing is, say, the father in the example.
Father. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The son is the secondary, the figurative thing.
Right.
When we apply to Atma, Atma is the primary thing, and the
Mhm.
body, mind, sense are the figurative thing.
Right.
So
That's a mukhya, and he gives the mukhya and something like
the
that, right?
mukhya Atma and the secondary Atma.
Figurative is the body mind complex. Okay.
Right. So, for instance, even though the father says that the son is himself, that is, if you say the Atma is the body, when the son eats, it is not equal to his eating. But here, even though the karma is done by the body, mind, sense complex, the notion, I am the agent, is very much there. If it is not, how can he ever perform a karma like the Agnihotra? Since he is doing it, definitely there is a sense of agency, kartritva buddhi, imputed to the self. Anything done by the body is done by the self. But that is not the case with reference to something that is the object of a Gauna expression. The action that the son does is not done by the father. Whereas here, the body does the action, but the notion is, I do the action. This is not Gauna, it is false, mithya. I think this is where, I don't know whether you understood this part, but I'm not yet.
The Gauna expression, still I didn't get that, but I got the Mithya part. The Mithya part is where the dad, the son eats, but not by the father. So the body does the action, but the notion is I do the action. That's not the Gauna. So that's a Mithya. So he's going to explain further. It says that I don't know. That would be thing.
Shankara explains further. There are two types of comparative expressions. If you say a person's courage is like that of a lion, it is a vyakta upama or a simile. The courage of the lion and the courage of this person are identical. There is also a form of comparison which is not adequately stated. An elliptical comparison, lupta upama or metaphor. Shankara gives a couple of examples of this type of comparison. If you say that Devadatta is a lion, for instance, all the qualities of the lion do not concur with those of Devadatta. The lion has 4 legs, Devadatta has only 2. The lion has a mane, Devadatta does not, and so on. But at the same time, you say that Devadatta is a lion. What does it mean? In one aspect of the lion, there is a certain identity with Devadatta, and only that identity is pointed out by this word lion. He has the fierceness of the lion or the courage of the lion. This is a Gauna expression.
Yeah, here that what is the differentiating point is about the attribute goes along with Gauna expression. When it comes to the action part of it, then it becomes a mithya. Like you're doing something, and that is, say, I am doing it, rather than, some other person, or like the body is doing it, or that becomes mithya. Looks like. I mean,
He has even though there is a point of similarity, what the lion does, Devadatta cannot do at all. The lion can kill an elephant or a tiger without a rifle. Will Devadatta be able to do that? So too? No. So too in the expression, the student is fire. The similarity is only in terms of his brilliance or skin color. Shankara says, he cannot do what fire can do. In other words, you cannot boil a kettle of water on his head. The object of the Gauna expression cannot do exactly what the thing to which it is compared can do. So the object of the Gauna expression in the two examples given here is the lion and the fire.
yeah, it expresses more of the quality, right? Like rather than
not the lion or fire. The object of the Gauna expression is Devadatta or the student.
right.
And what is the thing it is compared to? Compared to is the lion and the fire, isn't it? So the object, that is Devadatta or the student, cannot do exactly what the object that it is compared to, that thing that it is compared to, can do. Devadatta cannot kill an elephant, neither can the student burn like fire does.
So they're taking that quality of the fire, like he's like that hot or bright or whatever that is, right?
Correct. It
And
is only
for lion, is he going to be courageous or whatever that is related to the lion? So that's the Gauna expression.
correct.
Yeah.
On the other hand, when you say I do, you mean it. The Atma is taken to be the agent. If you do not accept that, what you are saying is what Vedanta says. If you know that in spite of the body and mind doing various things, you are not doing anything, you understand that Atma is Satchit Ananda. Only then can you say that Atma is Akarta. If that is so, we have nothing further to discuss. But if whatever the body does, Atma does. And whatever is Atma, that is the lot of the body, it is a mithya statement and not Gauna. A Gauna expression, either as an expression of elliptical comparison or metaphor, is only meant to praise or reveal a quality of the thing being compared. It is not meant to be used to reveal a thing directly. What is accomplished by a lion can never be accomplished by Devadatta, nor can what is accomplished by fire be accomplished by the student. That is Gauna. On the other hand, one does experience the undesirable thing which is accomplished by a false cognition, mithya pratyaya. If a person identifies the self with the body, the outcome of that identification is action leading to punya, papa, dukkha, sukha, raga, dveshas, and all that is undesirable. In other words, it leads to samsara. Not only that, the one who hears this Gauna expression knows the object described very well. He knows that Devadatta is not a lion and the student is not fire. There is no mistake. And there is, on the other hand, discrimination, viveka. Where there is lack of discrimination, And because of that, the cognition of a given thing in something that it is not, in the situation of atasmin tat buddhihi, there is mithya pratyaya. A mithya pratyaya is born of aviveka, lack of discrimination. This is the difference between gauna pratyaya and mithya pratyaya. Knowing that Devadatta is Devadatta and not a lion, yet calling him a lion is gauna pratyaya. Mistaking a tree stump for a person is mithya pratyaya, which is born of aviveka. Knowing the difference between the two is discrimination, viveka. When you say, I am the doer, karta, and the Veda has asked me to perform this karma, therefore I am doing it, even though the action is done by the body, mind, sense complex, and that alone is the karta, that becomes the Atma. Although you believe that Atma is other than the body, Atma is mistaken for the doer, karta. The erroneous notion due to lack of discrimination is what is called mithya pratyaya. It is gauna, a figure of speech, only when there is discrimination between the two objects involved. Therefore, it is not true that the eye cognition in the body mind sense complex is only figurative gauna. Suppose you understand the difference between the two and you say Devadatta is a lion. To point out his similarity to a lion in some respect, that is called gauna pratyaya. Here the real lion is mukhya, primary. Devadatta is the gauna, figurative lion. And here it is understood that the gauna lion, Devadatta, cannot do the actions of the mukhya lion, the thing to which it is compared, and vice versa. Accordingly, Shankara says that if the body, mind, sense complex is only the figurative self, while the primary self is distinct from the body, there would be the following situation. A karma that is done by the Gauna Atma, that is the body, mind, sense complex, which is figuratively called the self, would not be done by the Mukhya Atma, the self, which is the primary object of the eye cognition. Where there is a Gauna Pratyaya, the difference between the two is evident, and one does not do the actions of the other. What is done by the figurative lion Devadatta and the figurative fire, the student, is not done by the real lion or the real fire. If the figurative fire, the student, reads a book, no one thinks that the fire reads a book. According to our opponent, the body is only figuratively the self. Therefore, what is done by the body is done only by the body, not by the Atma. But still he says, I am the agent karta, because he considers that the Shruti is addressing him and asking him to do a given action, and therefore he does the action and hopes to get the result. Thus, he has a sense of agency, kartritva buddhi, which is not figurative. If it were, he would think that the body alone does the action, not him. But he does think that he performs the action since he expects to reap the result. Thus, this is not gauna pratyaya, but mithya pratyaya. It is very clear that between the body and the self, there is a false connection. One is mistaken for the other. Shankara explains this further. We saw that what is done by the primary thing is not done by the thing to which it is figuratively compared. Even though Devadatta possesses some qualities of the lion, everything that lion can do, Devadatta cannot do. When we make a statement that Devadatta is a lion, do we really mean that he does the actions of a lion? No, we are only revealing a certain quality of his, nothing more. We only mean that he has a certain disposition. which can be likened to that of a lion. It does not reveal any action on the part of Devadatta, which is equivalent to the action done by the lion. Such expressions are purely for the purpose of praising the person. Similarly, saying that the student is fire is saying that he is of a tawny color like fire. It is in praise because there was a value for that skin color in the culture of Shankara's time. And another thing, those who are praised know that they are not the things to which they are figuratively compared. Devadatta knows he is not a lion, and the student knows very well that he is not fire. That is why they can acknowledge the praise. Further, they both know that they do not do the actions of the object of comparison. Devadatta knows that the actions of a lion are not his, as the student knows that the actions of fire are not his. He knows, I am not fire, nor do I make the water boil. So too, if the body, mind, sense complex is the figurative self, Gauna Atma, and not the primary self, Mukhya Atma, the understanding that the action of the body is not mine, that is, does not belong to the primary Atma, would be more appropriate than the understanding I am the agent, the action is mine. He should know that the body, mind, sense complex performs the action and its activity is not his activity. The actions that are done by the body, mind, sense complex belong only to that, not to me, the primary self. The knowledge would be more appropriate. This knowledge will be more appropriate than the knowledge, I am the doer, this is my action.
Hariom Brahmaraji,
Yes.
sorry, could you please scroll for that Sanskrit sentences? Just one I would like to just read.
Yeah. You want to read it?
Yeah, I'll read later. It is, yeah, I will read later. Okay, Dhanyavad Brahmaraji.
They are the some. Yeah, it might. This is page 449.
Okay, Brahmaraji. Dhanyavad.
So then we have to ask, if you perform no action, then for whom is the result of action, karma phala? It cannot be for you. Further, if you do not do the action, then how can Shastra address you? The Shastra says, for example, that a certain ritual is to be performed by a Brahmana whose hair is not grey, that is, by a Krishna Kesha Brahmana. There are hundreds of specifications like this based on age, caste, stage of life, etc. To whom do they apply? Unless you have the eye sense and the body mind sense complex, there is no way that you can consider yourself qualified to do these rituals. Only if that identification exists can you say that you are a Brahmana, etc. The Shruti enjoins a certain action for a Brahmana. Only if you consider yourself a Brahmana will you consider yourself addressed by that injunction. Thus, it is clear that considering oneself a Brahmana is not a Gauna Pratyaya, but a Mithya Pratyaya. The difference becomes very clear. The understanding, I am the agent, Karta, cannot be appropriate if the body is only figuratively the self. Yeah, I think we'll stop here. I don't know whether we are any wiser after reading this. I think we should be in a proper frame of mind to kind of understand. We should be.
Yeah, like, it does give at least a little bit clarity, it's as you said, like try to, because these words are repeating, right? The Gauna Pratyaya and Mithya Pratyaya, and when you read more and more without understanding it, it just getting too much. But anyway, I at least got some points that's better that, we are supposed to go. this is we started from here today, right? The refutation of Nayika Mata. Okay, got it. Even with that, some of that came up again. Yeah, it'd be nice to go over it. That's fine. Tomorrow.
Yeah, Hariom, the only fact that why Shankaraji is giving so much emphasis on Gauna and this both the pratyayas, that why will give the answer, it will solve all the queries. Just ask why he's focusing so much attention on Gauna and other pratyaya.
That is why we need to understand that word, So it is important to know. That's why, like, I wanted to ask Pramara, because I was getting really headache after reading it, but then when I don't understand it, it sticks to my head, like then I have to go back and look at it.
No. Can I chip in? Can I chip in?
Identification. The
I have
identification has to vanish. No, that is why, because for the lifetimes we have identified all our activities and our this thing with body, senses, mind, and outside world. That has to vanish, and somewhere we need to make the start, and that is why the whole example is coming up. No.
No,
And
can I
it is
chip in?
definitely
I
happening
have
for all of us.
something to say. One point from whatever Brahmaraji read now, one thing that comes to my mind, I don't know whether it's correct or not. Like, we know body is Atma, okay? But Atma is not body. So that difference, I think, if we understand, maybe it will get clear. This is how the thought that came to me. This
Correct,
body,
correct.
yeah.
Correct, Vijay. Correct, Vijay. That is what I was telling. That ulta. What Bela was telling, no? Why Shankara is emphasizing means
Yes,
we
that's
are.
what. So,
Why means we are not understanding that we are Atma. Means we are not. We are understanding ourselves as body, and we are so much attached to our body that I am doing, and all that. But if we understand that we are Atma, then we are not doing anything. That
no, that
point
is
is
clear.
making
That's
us.
clear.
Here this idam namama is this thing, na, antidote which generally a lot of Vedic people take. Every karma you do or whatever in the mind, that after finishing that, immediately idam namama. Even that morning, evening Agnihotra, when we do the chanting, the whatever, idam namama. This thing also helps to really come out of that every karma, every moment, that surrender thing comes when we say
That is what.
idam
That is
namama.
what is.
It is a very
So
powerful mantra
it
actually.
is
Idam
better to
namama.
understand that we are Atma. We are not body. We are not doing anything. Atma is there. That
Yeah,
it
no,
has
I was
to.
Sureshji, I was trying to understand understand for myself the Gauna and the Mithya. So when I say body is Atma, but Atma is not body. So figuratively, like in Gauna Pratyaya, maybe the body is uh, having some attributes of the Atma because of the borrowed sentiency.
That is what I was telling. When
Yeah.
we are understanding that I am Suresh with this body, that, this, etc., and I am reading Bhagavad Gita and following some Sthitat Prajna's qualities in me, that is Gauna.
Yeah. So there.
You got it. But in fact, I am really an Atma. I am not understanding that. And acting like a body in this. That is Mithya. We have to understand that I am Atma.
Yeah.
I am not to superimpose the Sthitat Prajna's guna on me. Actually, we are doing the ulta. We are putting, we are meeting Dveshi, but we have to think that we are not that. We have to just cut off. Automatically, we will be that. That is what.
Yeah. So difference between Gauna and Mithya, in a very simple terms, what I felt was, so one is where we have this kind of a borrowed thing and we think that is what I am, right? Because of the attributes that I have got from the Atma. But in Mithya, maybe Shankaraji is then saying very clearly that no, this body depends completely on the Atma for its existence, right? So that means it cannot be having meaning. You figuratively, yes, you can say some attributes are there, but that is Gauna. But actually it's Mithya, because body cannot exist without the Atma.
Atma, yes. That's what correct it is.
Yeah, so that becomes
You-
Mithya. And when you figuratively look at body being having some attributes of the Atma, then it becomes Gauna. This is how I could,
That is what I was telling you the same thing when I explained it.
Brahmaraji, is that making some sense to?
I think
Yeah,
I'm
it's actually the Gaunatma and the Mithyatma, like they get given two other words also, like figurative self is Gauna.
No, means, can I explain it? Means by becoming Gauna, we are going towards.
Oh, sorry. I think Suresh, by mistake muted you. Please unmute. Simi, you're muted. Simi, you'll have to make sure you're keep yourself muted, because time and again I think you get unmuted. Yeah. Okay. Suresh, I think you're muted.
I mute, no,
You're unmuted.
unmuted.
Yeah.
No, whenever I think I am disturbing others, I mute myself.
No. I was muting Simi because she was unmuted and there was some disturbance coming from her side.
Okay. Thank
So
you.
by mistake, I muted you. So I was
No
just
problem. No need. No need. Good, very good. We had a good discussion.
So I think we let it sink in now a little bit. Come back. I think what I understand is, I'm talking for myself. I think to understand this subtlety, your mind has to be in a total state of sattva. And I think my mind has not been in a state of sattva for the last 3 days, especially because of lack of sleep and all that. So I think I need to come to that state. See, only in a state of sattva can knowledge dawn. That clarity will come. So it's my take. It's nothing to do with your understanding. Each of your perspectives might be right. I'm not refuting it at all. But for myself, I will have to go back and read it and understand it better.
Brahmaraji, this is a good antidote for when we have to go through all that mundane things in the worldly ways and we are not too much into sattva. Look at it as a dream. Then also the karma will not be built up. Just look at it as a dream is going on and I am a part of that dream, kind of. That will help a lot. I do it many times. Now the whole December is like weddings and get-togethers and whatnot, everything. Everything creates impression, no doubt about it. But keep on doing. If the karma is happening, then say idam namama. And if such things we have to participate, and the sattva is feeling low because of low sleep and all other aspects, then just look at it as a dream. That will also help a lot. And these discussions are the ultimate ones, right? No doubt the things which we are going through, it is seeping in little, maybe 0.0011% every day. Thank you so much, Jai Gurudev.
Jai Gurudev. So we'll wind up here today. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om Tat Sat Shri Krishna Arpanamastu. Jai Gurudev.
Dhanyavad, Jai Gurudev.